Look at a laborer working a 12-hour shift under the hot sun. He pushes his body to the absolute limit of physical exhaustion. Now, look at a billionaire taking maybe 3 meetings a day from a comfortable, air-conditioned office. Is the laborer struggling because he lacks a strong work ethic, or is the global economy designed to reward a completely different kind of effort? This formula illustrates the middle-class assumption taught from childhood. You trade hours, multiply them by physical or mental exertion, and that equals wealth. But biology enforces strict limits on this math. You only have 24 hours in a day and finite calories to burn. If your income requires your physical presence, your wealth is strictly bound by the limits of your biological clock. To grow past that ceiling, you have to move from performing the task to owning the mechanism that does it. Most hard workers are stuck in the operator stage. They cap their own output by insisting on knowing and executing every single detail of a job themselves. Breaking out of that stage requires leverage. You stop relying exclusively on your own muscle and mind and start utilizing other people's time, money, and expertise. Henry Ford famously admitted he didn't know the intricate technical details of his automobile factories. Instead, he built a network of experts. If he had a question, he simply pushed a button on his desk, and the right specialist provided the answer. This diagram shows the immediate mathematical power of human leverage. By hiring a team of 10 people, your strictly limited 24-hour day instantly expands into 240 effective hours of productivity. Scaling wealth begins with a shift in identity. You stop trying to be the smartest person on the floor doing the work and become the architect directing the experts. However, human leverage has a biological flaw. Even a massive team of highly skilled people eventually needs to clock out and sleep. The ultimate evolution is moving beyond human limits completely. You build logic-based systems and machines that run continuously without any physical intervention. In the early days of Amazon, Jeff Bezos personally packed individual books by hand on the floor of a garage. He quickly realized that manual fulfillment could never scale to meet national demand. So he replaced that manual labor with automated logistics. Algorithms and conveyor belts now sort millions of packages globally, running non-stop whether Bezos is in the office or asleep. Netflix followed a similar trajectory. They abandoned the physical constraints of mailing DVDs in red envelopes, establishing a borderless digital streaming infrastructure that serves media simultaneously across the globe. True financial freedom occurs only when the system generating your revenue is completely detached from your biological need to be awake. Building these massive, self-sustaining structures requires a specific psychological framework. You have to handle risk and resource allocation differently than an operator. During the early turbulent years of SpaceX, Elon Musk faced multiple rocket explosions. Rather than taking these as personal defeats, he treated the massive financial losses as the necessary price for acquiring highly valuable engineering data. This mindset extends to daily routines. The most successful builders ignore busy work entirely. They focus their limited energy strictly on the 20% of tasks that yield 80% of the results. They apply the same stringent focus to human capital. They don't network for short-term transactional favors. They forge decade-long, mutually beneficial partnerships. Steve Jobs understood this when he collaborated with John Lasseter's creative team at Pixar. Jobs realized that bringing a massive vision to life meant combining his own leverage with world-class specialized talent. Billionaires treat capital and code as the hardware. They power that hardware with a high-leverage network and the psychological resilience to survive massive risks. Accumulating massive capital isn't an end goal in itself. It's a strategic move to secure the only asset that doesn't replenish: time. Average earners are forced into a rigid trade, selling their finite hours to acquire money. The highly successful use their money and automated systems to buy back their hours. Real luxury is spending 2 hours a day making high-leverage strategic decisions, leaving the rest completely open for family, health, and exploration. So stop trying to merely hustle harder tomorrow. Instead, allocate 30 minutes a day away from the grind to learn a scalable digital or financial skill. A billionaire isn't defined by what they buy, but by how much of their day they own. Breaking the tie between your presence and your profit is the only way to stop being a component in the machine and start being the architect who owns it.